we are. Working. Gonna do a little premiere here today. Probably gonna do a couple of them before we go live tonight. This one is gonna be the rocket ship, which means on this end we're gonna do a baseball bat end with maybe a tiny bit of flare to make it look like a rocket ship. Let's measure that, see where we're at right now. This is going to end up being a .55 finger hold. We're way above that currently. See where we're at again. Don't want to go past it, that's for sure, because we can't come back. Okay, still a little fat, .62. .58, so we're coming down on it, which is nice. Once I get my eyes calibrated for the day of what a .55 looks like, then I'm pretty good to go. All right, that should be right where we need to be. And it is on the money. Love it. Now the other one, it's not really a round pointy. It's more of a pointy. So we'll make us a little rocket ship end here. And we do want to be able to hold this, so we do need to put a finger hold in it. Because it will hold a diamond painting tip and paint with. Here we go. There's the beginning of it. That looking pretty good. Make it a little bit thinner on the end. If for nothing else, to give it a rocket ship look. This would be the nose fairing up here. Okay, and then behind that, we're going to do a bit of a finger hold. Because even though it's a rocket ship, guess what? You got to be able to use it. We're still very fat here. We're at a .63. So we need to get this one down to a .55 as well and give us a little more aggressive angle on the finger hold to make it look like a rocket. And this young lady loves to have different finger points, although she prefers a .55. She likes to have some just a little smaller and some just a little bigger. And that is actually a good practice, because as you use your pens, you don't want to be locked into the exact same finger width all the time, because then your fingers can cramp up. So you definitely want to have a small bit of variability in there to keep it comfortable and to keep your fingers and hands from wearing out. And especially your, because you know most of your finger grip comes from your forearm. All right, let's see how we're doing here. Probably still a little fat. Oh yeah, we're a little fat. I think we're just about down there. Yeah, we're just sanding will take it down just a little hair. We're going to trim that just a bit. That should be enough, and then the sanding will take us down where we need to be. Now we're going to make this end look like the rocket booster, if you will. So even though our center is right here, we're going to offset this sucker about 3/4 of an inch down to there. That does a couple things. One, it offsets it off the center, makes this more look like a rocket up here. Excuse me. And it still gives lots of finger hold area. So here we go. All right, so that looks nice there. Now we're going to make this look more like a rocket up here. There we go. That's be pretty unique. Let's make us a little end down here. Now, one thing I'm going to do on this is I'm going to make the finger hold area a little more inverted so that it looks a little bit like a rocket cone. Not completely, because those rocket cones are pretty aggressive as far as their angle goes. You get a little air to blast this off here. Oh, that's looking pretty cool. I'll smooth that out with my rounder here. There it is, the rocket ship. Very usable and looks pretty cool. Now let's finish this one up. By the way, we're going to stay on the lathe for all 5 pens, and then we'll pop over to the buffer. That way I don't lose anybody on the screen, which I have done successfully in the past. Water, here's my water. Okay, here we go. Ooh, I got warm water today. And again, this rocket ship can be done on just about any blank. The ones that work best are the ones that are sort of nondescript and don't have any obvious, hey, I need to show this off kind of thing. But other than that, anyone could be done in a rocket ship format. I wouldn't recommend this for a hybrid, especially if this end were tip, or this tip were wood, because that part here with the grain gets pretty brittle. And if the grain is just right, it's very easy to chip that off. And that's a bummer, because these are, some good looking pens when they get hybrid, and you don't want that to happen. feels pretty good. All right, on to the next one. These 5 this morning are all resin, so nothing exciting like Fordite, just gorgeous looking resin that's been mixed up nicely and got all the swirlies in it and all the cool colors and all that good stuff. All right, there's that one. It's pretty easy when this resin is so nice. Smooths up very nicely. The next blank is going to be very much like this one, color-wise and swirl-wise. And we're going to make that into a typical two-ended baseball bat end type of thing and do some good-looking stuff in the middle. We'll see what that blank tells us to do. Well, I need to have my no blower on right now. I'm like, why is my blower not going? Oh yeah, I'm finishing, I'm not cutting. And again, like we're gonna turn these 5 pens, and then we'll go over to the buffer. All right, that one looks fabulous. Let's see how it looks when we stop it. Heck yeah. Even looks like a rocket. Look at all them swirly things going on there. It's like it's flying through the air. I see sometimes it scratches, but what is it's the compound that's going roundy. Not a scratch, thank goodness. That looks cool. Okay. Right now I'm just chamfering out the edges so I don't forget to do that when we go over to the buffer. Okay, here comes the second one. Looks very similar to the first one. And we're going to show you how, if you love the color of a blank, you can buy 2 blanks of the same thing. There's no crime against that. And we'll show you how both can be gorgeous, even though they're essentially a very similar blank. No harm in that. Sometimes Carrie will let a customer, hey, you ordered that same blank. And they go, yeah, I know. Okay, we're rocking for you. Here we go. Blower on. always wonder why they chatter sometimes. Am I too high? Maybe I'm too high. Let's try that. Oh yeah, that was it. Just the wrong angle against the pen with the blade, and it just likes to chatter. Nothing wrong with that. It's just, for me, annoying, quite frankly. Now let's see what we're down to. That still looks a little fat for a .55. Yeah, it's about a .62. In this one, she would like just a simple mustache, which I love, because it really shows off the center of a pen. Let's see where we're at here. And we're going to do a little bit of sort of a medium fat bat down here. This is a good looking blank. Want to see some action down there on the end there rather than just cut it all away. So we would call that a little fatter than a normal bat, but not quite as fat as a full-blown fat bat. And this one will dome, because that would be the typical look of the bat. And we'll smooth it off here. Very nice and smooth. Now we'll come back down to this end here and do a similar thing. We do quite a few premieres today before we go live. Got a lot of pens to do, and people love to watch their pens being done, so we record most of them, even the tragedies when they break or fall apart, which could happen. Doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's sad. And the only reason they fall apart is maybe some 3D printing type of thing going on, or something like that. I have seen a wood one fall apart. Our Fordite supplying vendors, they do a really good job of buying very hard Fordite, so that helps us not have a problem there. Looking good. Going to come down in here, trim that one up just a hair. All right, let's see how our dimension is doing over here. We're at a .58, so we're coming down on it. Now, this is a little fatter bat than this one down here, so what I can do now that I've got the end created successfully, is I can eat into that bat, make it look like the other one. There we go. Now they look pretty similar, and that's good. Let me do a measurement on both ends, see where we're at. So we're at a 0.57 there and a 0.54 there. So we got to thin this one down just a little bit. This is perfect down there. That's looking very nice. Now let's find the center. Oh, need to have it running so I can draw a line all the way around it. There's the center. I'm going to mustache this baby right up. There we go. That'll give us a super nice curve. That's looking very nice. Here we go, blower off. Diaper in place. This is the sandpaper. It's always the first sandpaper that I spend generally the most time with on the pen, because that's the one that I want to get all and any knife marks reduced to what this sandpaper is. That feels good. And we are working on the one today, and I'll put in the title, If You Know, You Know. Working on the one. Yeah, before I started the live today, and by the way, this is pretty early in the morning. Went to bed about midnight or so, 11:30 midnight after last night's live, and got up this morning, got everything prepped, did some little mini tasks in the shop here, clean up sometimes, and drilled out some pen blanks for ink pens, and then I prepped 9 of the blanks that you'll see on Premieres today to be turned, and I do that so that the Premiere isn't, a whole bunch of me just rounding off blanks, because that's, although Tammy's favorite part, not terribly exciting for the overall experience of turning a pen. So I prepped it before we got going. We'll see plenty of square things made round on the live. I think I just did this gray one. Yeah, I did. I can feel it's not doing much when I do this, so that's good. That means we're up to the polish. Beautiful. All right. All right, that is nice and shiny. There it is. Beautiful. Great blanks. Got some cool colors in it. Got some clarity swirling around so you can see into the blank like you could those marbles when you were a kid. Pretty cool. All right, and again, I'm going to come over here, take the bushings out, the bushings out, and chamfer the ends, just preparation for the buffer in a minute. And I do all this here because once we get to the buffer, we're just going to pick and buff, and everything is prepped. And as long as I'm not changing the camera, I keep myself out of trouble, and all is good. Okay. Now, this is an interesting blank here. Love the colors in this one. There's some coppers, some blacks, some kind of metallic blue, and maybe even a red or something in there. There's like a red around that rust, or maybe that's just thin rust or something, or maybe it's rust with the beige. Crazy color combos. All right. Yep, we're still on the camera. Looked over there, make sure we're recording, all good stuff. Yep, looks good. Just had to walk over, make sure. Okay, this one here, we're going to do some baseball bat ends around a .55. Blower on. And this thing should shine up to be just gorgeous. All right, let's see where we're at for a measurement wise. Probably still a hair fat. That's right on 0.55. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay. See, my eyeball's getting calibrated now. I sort of know what a little fatter than a half-inch looks like. Sort of funny. Some nights all I'm doing is turning a 0.46, 0.48, point whatever, and it seems so small. And then when I do a 0.55, it seems so huge. And then I'll focus on a bunch of 0.68s or something like that, or 0.63, 0.65, and they're a little fatter. Then I come back to a 0.55 and it looks so skinny. So it is all relative in your brain, that is for sure. This one down here is on the money. This one here is on the money. Beautiful. Didn't even stop to measure that one. It's a little fat right now, so we'll make the end. Then we'll come back and we'll reduce that. Just eat into this one a little bit to make it look a little thinner. And not make it a little bit thinner, make it look a little thinner, but actually make it thinner. All right, let's look at this thing here. Absolutely beautiful swirlies. We want to maintain that swirly, and I think I'm going to invent a new design on this one. Been having some thoughts in my brain, looking at other people turning wood items out there, mainly, you're gonna laugh at this, mainly wands. They're doing some Harry Potter look-alike kind of wands. Not true Harry Potter wands, but you know, can't do the exact thing. Let me go ahead and clean that up right there. That's actually my end there. We'll do the same thing over here. Gets a little rusty after a while, all the water we're using. And while I'm sitting here thinking, Looks all nice and shiny now. Look at that. Okay, so what was I thinking here? I sketched it out over here. I want to do a peak in the middle. So let's work on that right now. We're going to freehand this here just to figure out if I can get what I want out of it. Okay, so there's a nice little slope there. Want to get a little bit more depth on that to accentuate that peak. Alright, so there's the peak in the middle. And then I want to do 2 lines as we go down towards the finger hole. So there's the peak. We'll do a line here at 2. Look, just a little tiny dig. Right about there. So short of 2, short of 3/16. So let's see. Is that an inch? Yeah, it's an inch. One there. One out there. Okay. It's going to be subtle. And I'm going to have to adjust it as I go. This is where we'll begin, but I can see that I need to... I saw this sort of profile on a table leg. I thought it looked cool. Knock that off there. This is a little high over here. So I want it to come out and then dump over. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. But I want this to be a little more accentuated, so I'm going to dig out here, right around that peak. And those will just dump over right into that next little curve there. And although this is a little bit pointy right now, as I finish, it will knock that down and not be pointy, or not be sharp. All right, let's finish this one up. Blower off, diaper in place, little bit of paper. Got to refine this a little bit. Looking pretty good right now. We'll see how it looks on this blank when we're done and figure out where we're going to take it next. But this is the first of this design. And I pulled elements out of a table leg that I saw that I thought, oh, that looks pretty cool. That would make a neat looking diamond painting pen. Feeling good. Okay, let's get this end completed down here. This pen will also almost look like metal when we're done because of that copper and beige in there. All right, feels nice. In between premieres, I'm going to have to cut up some more little sandpaper there, getting low on the lowest bucket, or the first sandpaper that I use. Feels good. What's up, baby? I am filming. Carrie's over there doing the old rooting through the refrigerator for something. Cool. And like the wind, she's gone. This actually could be an axle on a chariot too. We might call this axle or chariot, not sure which. I'll come up with a name later, but I have to think about that. But just as I'm looking at this, I go, man, that could be an axle. Ooh, I can start seeing through this one now. This is going to be brilliant. Oh my goodness. This is going to be so pretty. I love the blues that are coming out right there in the center. Not sure if you can see those as it's spinning, but that's going to be cool. Okay, let's see what it looks like. Oh, hey, oh, it is clear. Oh, so there's a lot of very dark clear. Super dark gray. That's really going to come out when we buff that up. But I can see through it. If you can see it on my hand, see my flesh through the pen. That is way cool. Way cool. Okay, I'm going to take it over here, take the bushings out. Burnish them down a little bit. What's up, Kevin? So when is game 5?
Friday.
Next Friday?
Monday.
Oh, Monday. Cool.
Oh, you're recording.
I am recording. I can still talk to you while I'm recording. It's not like a big secret or anything. Okay, here comes one that's nearly transparent. Got some purple, blue, white, and pink swirls through it.
Got another hour and a half of overtime on this.
Nice.
$436.
Beautiful, baby. Best cashier they ever had. The guy who shows up. That is the deal. Okay, here we go. Blower on. All right, let's see how we're doing on measurements here. About a .60, so we got a little bit more to go. All right, that is perfect right there. Let's make this a baseball bat in here. Oh, dang. What's that, Kev? Nice. Oops. Oh. All right, let's do a measurement here, see how we're doing. .5, perfect. On the money. Now this reminds me a little bit of cotton candy. And there's some cool stuff going through it. I'd really like to keep this at the top of a peak. And this at the top of a peak. Of course, that won't be hard there. Let's see where our center is. There's our center. So that means I want a valley here, a valley here, and a valley here. That'll give us 2 gumballs and some really cool action. All right, here we go. Let me draw where we're going to put these. Let me get the old equidistance here. There's 3 in the middle. And this guy wants to be at here. So we'll make a nice dark mark there and a dark mark there. But we're going to even those up. So this one is right at 15/16. We'll make that one. We'll move that over to 15/16. So it's equal. And my brain will be good. Keep that right angle on there. Looking good. This ball's just a hair too tall. Give him a little haircut. All right, Gumball City. Call this one cotton candy balls. All right. Is that Kev?
Purdy.
Purdy. Yeah, it is. Reminds me of cotton candy. Yeah, purple, blue. What's that, Kev?
Monday's game 5.
Monday is game 5. Can't wait.
I bet that's why they intentionally did.
Sometimes I think that, why would anybody take the opportunity to lose? You want to win, secure it, and be done, right? You think they were just off? I can't see anybody throwing a game. How much did they lose by? 38? Yeah, they threw that one.
Season record was 64.
Yeah, that was a thrown game.
If they would have went on their own.
I imagine, but gee whiz, why would you take that risk? Because what if Dallas gets a bunch of confidence, comes back and wins 3 in a row? It hasn't happened, but you never know. There's always a first. Kevin says it's not going to happen. All I know is if I were a basketball manager, GM, or coach, or whatever, I would say, get the win when you got the game. Don't wait. Don't wait later for the win. But they're smarter than I am because I'm not a basketball coach or GM or whatever. But how do you beat the tar out of somebody 3 games in a row and then lose by 38 points? That's just silly. That's just silly.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it.
All right. Yeah, I don't know how that happens. If I was a coach, I would say get the win. When you're in the game, get the win. Unless they're so sure of themselves that Dallas is not going to win up there in Boston. Doing it for the fans, doing it for the revenue, I don't know. But if I were a coach, I would take the win when you can get it. And there may be factors at play that I'm not aware of too, such as the owner says, bring it back here, we'll make more money in concessions and ticket sales, and we're going to win at least one of the next 2, so take that chance. I wouldn't, but But when you get beat by 38 in the NBA Finals, that is a thrown game. Probably put the second string in with a little bit of play time for the first string to save them and keep them fresh for Monday, and then beat the tar out of Dallas. I don't know. Is that a good strategy or not? Yep, I can see the clarity in this one coming now. All the clear. When you start shining it up, you can start seeing through it. It's going to be cool. Looks like there's some glitter in there too. Maybe some micro starlight glitter. I love that stuff. Alright, let's see what we got here. Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh my goodness. I don't think that's micro starlight glitter because I'm seeing all one color, like a white reflection, but that is way cool. Good call because we have these things coming up. I see a little scratch right there. I need to get rid of that scratch. I'm going to mark that so I can find it when I put back on there. There we go. Just going to take a knife to repair that one. Okay, where was it? I think it's right there. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Right there still, just a tiny bit. It is gone. All right, we'll refinish that little section there and be done with this one. Who'll be dinging me? Oh, it's 11:24. Time for the podcast. All right. A little bit of polish and this guy will be all done. Ah, looking beautiful. polished up. Beautimous. Yep, that little scratch is gone. Very nice. Very good. All right, now we're rolling on to number 5 of this series here. Did 4 already. Number 5 coming up. Get that set nicely. This is pretty cool. There's going to be some clarity to this one with all this webbing going on of this green and blue. So that should be fun. Okay, that's on. Blower is on, and here we go. We've already rounded it up. Now we're just shaping and carving. And this one I'm going to do rounded pointy just to change it up a little bit. All right, let's see what we're getting to here. Down to about 0.58, so we're getting close. All right, let's do the pointy part now. We'll get that worked out. Perfect. All right, let's see what we're going to do for the middle here. We're going to scrape this outer edge off here and get it super round. All right, let's see what it looks like here. A little purple in there, some clarity throughout. This is going to be pretty cool. I want to do, how do I keep this clarity here without disappearing? We could do that thing we did last night where we had sort of the, I call it the viewing window, but it's not really a window, it's more of a dome. There's the center. If I come out to 1 inch and 1/8, that'll give me a good finger hold, and I'll dome that in the middle. That'll look cool. Okay, now oh, jeez. Scary. Alrighty. Almost want to call that the rolling pin because it's not the handlebar, because the handlebar has a different cut there and there. But it definitely looks like a little rolling pin kind of deal. We shall see. And after this pen, like I said, I'm going to have to go cut up some sandpaper for my level 1 because I've got about 4 little squares left. Very nice. Okay, next. Again, all these pens we did, they're a variation of a .55. This young lady doesn't want .55 on every one. Have some .55, some .56, some .54, some .53. You know, give some variability. And again, that is good for the muscles in the hand and the forearm. Give them a different thing to lock into. We should get some nice clarity views through the center here. Super nice. And then as soon as we're done with this one, we're going to go over to the buffer and buff them all up, present them, close out the video, and we'll begin the next one as soon as I get done doing up some sandpaper. Okay, there's that part there. Put a little goodness on that rag. This thing is all falling apart. Get our use out of this guy. All right, here we go. All right, there we go. Pretty, pretty, pretty. When I buff this up, you're going to see some super clarity right in there. That's going to be pretty neat. Good colors in this one. All right, let me take the bushings out. And then we will go to the buffer and buff these 5 up. This is what I do on my Saturdays. I just buff. Make pens all day long. Okay, let's flip the camera over here to the buffer bench. We'll put those down. I'll load the buffer up a little bit. Doesn't take a lot. We're not doing any metal work. We're just doing a bunch of resin pens. There we go. There's that one. Some cool clarity in there, I'll tell you. Yeah. Let's keep this baby rolling. This one looked very cool because it's got that glitter in it with the clarity, and that just really looks neat. There's that one. Got good clarity with the glitter in it and the little stringy colors rolling through it. Pretty cool. Okay, here comes Mr. Rocket Ship. All right, so this one here is the rocket ship. If you'll notice, I'm not sure if it shows up on camera, but it's a little indented in there to make it look like a rocket nozzle. And then here's its sister, done just as a handlebar. Let's get that buffed up. Beautiful. Handlebar. Same type of pen as before, but done as the handlebar. Gorgeous. Two different designs, essentially the same color blank. All right. Last one here of these 5. Rounded pointy. About a .53 to a .54 finger grip. Done in what we're going to start calling the rolling pin style. Looks like a handlebar, but it changes right here, the way that's shaped. There that one is right there. We're going to call that the rolling pin style. It's got that sharp up there with that nice viewing window in there, and that fits really nice in the hand. Super nice both directions. Ooh, that's so nice. Look down inside the pen right here with all that clarity. Super nice. So, all 5 pens in this round. All gorgeous. Really like this one here. This one is... I love that copper and beige. That's pretty nifty. There we go. All right. We're going to close this one out, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.